What's going on, guys? I'm Advantage and welcome back to another NHL 22 video. In today's video, I'm giving you my team update in NHL 22. A lot of you have been asking for this, so here it is. Also, I've been streaming a lot more as of late, so make sure you go ahead and check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/manadvantage. Without any further ado, let's get right into today's video. All right, guys, a lot of you have been asking me for a team update, so I want to give you a high-level overview of everything I have and also take a look under the hood as to how I'm using these players, how they fit into my lineup, and how some of these guys may or may not be able to fit your play style depending on how you play the game. So first off, let's take a look at the lineup here. On the first line, I have LEMIEUX. Obviously, I'm extremely biased, as I mentioned in every one of these team update videos. LEMIEUX is my favorite player of all time. I grew up in Pittsburgh, met him multiple times, so he even bought me a Gatorade at a concession stand growing up. So I love LEMIEUX, and obviously one of the best players of all time. He's a great player in Chell and in Hut, 6'4", 225 pounds. He's extremely difficult to take off the puck. The thing I don't like about this card is, as you can see here, I don't have any of his zone or superstar abilities activated. However, it doesn't really matter. He's so good, and he's so hard to take off the puck with his size, his speed. Pretty much everything's 99 across the board and will be very soon once he gets another upgrade. In my opinion, this is one of the best cards in the game. I still have him on my first line, although there are some other higher overall options. I just love having LEMIEUX on there for his size, speed, pretty much everything else. PRIMEAU is also on my first line. I think this is probably a first line center for majority of the players out there. 6'5", 220 pounds, 96 speed, 96 XL. As you can see here, and I'll go over all these in detail, but I do have no contest as well as close quarters activated on him. I did play around with a couple of these other ones. I just haven't found that they were advantageous. I don't really love silver truculence or even truculence at all for that matter on any of my forwards. I just don't find that I throw as many hits for my playstyle. However, it is nice that he does have that on there as an option, and he's been fantastic for me. As you can see at the bottom there, at a 259 games played, he has a plus minus of 248, 135 goals, 123 assists. And then also going back to LEMIEUX, as you can see, I play a lot of games with LEMIEUX. 577 goals, 412 assists, and a 1,275 plus minus. So you love to see it. Up next, we have Team of the Season, Connor McDavid. So right here, his plus minus is a +2. He's played 6 games for me, 3 goals, 2 assists. I did have his Team of the Year, but I do like this player a little bit better simply because he does have no contest. And I didn't really love any of his zone or superstar abilities either on this card or even his Team of the Year card. Just didn't really feel that it was that much of a difference. But I don't know. For me, silver no contest, as you'll see here with some of my other players, and when I get into the ability limits and how I'm using those points, I found that that is just OP. I don't know why. Maybe it's just something in my head, but I find that these players are more likely to come up with the puck and make some gnarly pokes in the game. So for me, that is something that I notice and is very noticeable to me. And for one ability point, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, this card needs no exclamation, 99 across the board. If you're still targeting Team of the Season players, I'm also going to make another video coming out here very shortly in regards to which Team of the Season players to target or leave on the sideline. Obviously, this one should be at the top of the list. Moving on to my second line, we have Ovi, Duchene, and Rantanen. Starting off with Ovi, for some reason, this Team of the Season card feels awesome. I really love it. He is only a +1, 2 goals, 2 assists, and 14 games played. I know it doesn't really sound like he's been lighting it on fire for me, but I do notice him on the ice. He feels a lot quicker than some of his previous cards. I had his X Factor. If you had his X Factor as well, you'll obviously notice that Ovi felt a little bit sluggish out there. I did rock Unstoppable Force on him, but I decided to take that off and found that obviously it's 6'3", 236 pounds. He's hard to take off the puck to begin with, and then it wasn't that much of a noticeable difference. I do like silver no contest on him. I think gold close quarters as well could be something that you may want to consider throwing on. I have not for the time being, but I do love this card. Love to see that Ovi got an upgrade as well. Moving on, we have Matt Duchene, and I need to change that. There we go. All right, cool. Now he's 99 across the board. This card needs no exclamation. Obviously, one of the best cards in the game, and really was the best card in the game very early on with the start to the season that Duchene had. As you can see, I was almost 1,000 games played for me. A plus 1,159, a lot of goals, 626 and 415 assists. This card's a lot of fun. If you can get it for, I'd say, 1 million coins or less in the auction house, I still think it's one of the best cards in the game. As I mentioned in the very beginning, and I've mentioned this even in previous NHL videos that I made, Duchene and Taylor Hall, for some reason, are two players that have always felt great to me in Hut for their speed, for their shot, for their hands. And I just love to see that they gave him an Evo card this year and that he did so well. Moving on, we have MIKKO Rantanen. Now, again, 8 games played, 2 goals, 2 assists, and a +3. I had his Team of the Year card. If you had his Team of the Year card, you will notice that one as well. He's extremely hard to take off the puck. It's 6'4", 216 pounds. He's one of the bigger players that I have found is still speedy and just really difficult to knock off the puck. I do like silver close quarters on him. Probably doesn't need it with his shot being as good as it is, but he's just deadly. And I had a lot more goals, obviously, with his Team of the Year card that I had previously. But here's a look at his Team of the Season card. I do like a little bit better, being that he does have silver close quarters. Moving on to the third line, we also upgraded our X Factor MacKinnon to a Team of the Season MacKinnon. So 5 goals, 1 assist. He's -1. So obviously I haven't played a ton of games with him so far. I do like this card, though. I had a lot of success with his X Factor card earlier in the year. I like the Team of the Season card a little bit better than I do the X Factor, and especially the X Factors now. It costs 12 collectibles to upgrade my MacKinnon from a 97 to a 98. And as you can see here with STAMKOS, that's exactly it. You're either going to shell out 300,000 coins or 12 power collectibles just to get from a 97 to a 98, which is kind of ridiculous. I'm looking at turning in Stamkos, although he's been fantastic for me, looking to turn him into his Team of the Season card. And again, another huge reason for that is his zone and superstar abilities on this X Factor are just really not there. None of these are really worth activating, in my opinion. However, he's still been a very solid card for me. And then lastly, as I mentioned before, Taylor Hall. I like him a lot in HUT, always have. This card's incredible. I actually decided to make this one untradeable earlier on, but he's been pretty solid for me. 39 goals, 30 assists in 95 games. He's been pretty much on my 3rd or 4th line the majority of the time. So that's the reason why he probably hasn't lit it on fire, but he's still been very solid for me. And then lastly, on the 4th line, we got my big boys back here. We got Patrick Laine, 6'5", 209 pounds, 77 goals, 55 assists in 227 games played. You know, he's a card that I think I'm going to get rid of first. I'm not sure exactly who I'm going to upgrade him for yet, but he's kind of fallen off the beaten path for me, and I'll get 137,000 coins back when I decide to make that change. So he's probably going to be the first one to go, and really probably the only one to go. I do have Barkov as well, although this is a tradable card. I have his Team of the Season card, and again, I've only played a handful of games with him. He does have silver no contest, which I just decided to throw on here as of late. I like the way Barkov's cards have felt this year. The only thing I don't like, which I'm sure you're well aware of if you also have used any of his cards throughout the year, is that his speed is just so slow. However, with his Team of the Season card coming out, and obviously Florida looking to make a run, I highly believe he's going to be a 99 overall card sooner rather than later, compared to probably most other cards out there. So I think he's a great investment. I picked him up for just shy of 300,000 coins. So for me, it's a no-brainer. And if that's the case, his speed and excel should shoot up quite a bit once he gets that 99 overall. Lastly, we have PIERRE ENGVALL, one of the underrated cards that I have on my team, 6'5", 216 pounds. I get a lot of questions as to whether or not he's worth making. In my opinion, he certainly is. Now, previously, you had to make some of these cards with the HUT Champions collectibles. However, EA did implement a welcome change, which is somewhat rare, but hey, we'll take them whenever we can get them, where you can upgrade them with power-up collectibles. So for me, he's obviously going to be 99 overall here in the near future. 6'5", 216. He's very hard to take off the puck, and he's been pretty solid for me. So there you go. There's my forwards. If you're looking to target any of these players, on the fence about making one or the other, and that is my honest opinion about using all these. Obviously, some of the Team of the Seasons are newer, but those players have been slotted in my lineups just with either their Team of the Year card or their X Factors in the case of Ovi and MacKinnon. So hopefully that gives you a rough idea on the forwards. Let's move on to the defensemen. Taking a look at here on defense, here's my first line D pairing. We got BRAYDON, COBURN, and Victor Hedman's Team of the Season, which is completely unbelievable. COBURN, 6'5", 224. I do like the fact that he has gold stick him up. I have used 1 teen seeing eye on him, but I didn't notice a massive difference. 96 excel, 95 speed, obviously a huge body. This is one of the cards to be chasing, especially if you have some of the other team builders already made. Victor Hedman's card is completely cracked now. As if it wasn't before, it's even more cracked now. I highly recommend, if you have his Team of the Year, to go ahead and upgrade it to the Team of the Season, due to the fact that he has 3 skating synergies. If you could fill all these out with Workhorse, Fly the Zone, and Spark, he's going to be sitting at 98 excel, 97 speed for a 6'6", 240 pounder. He also does have no contest in addition to 1 T. I love gold 1T on him. It just feels fantastic when he's clapping shots from the point. So for me, this is absolutely a must make and probably the #1 card to be chasing in my opinion. Up next on the second line, we have Korbinian Holzer, 6'3", 214 pounds with gold truculence activated. This card's a lot of fun to use. May end up switching him out here if there's another bigger player that's obviously a little bit quicker. I don't necessarily notice his speed being low, but he is fun to body people with that gold truculence in the back. And then lastly, we also have Keith Handel here on the other side. Unfortunately, his Ironman streak came to the end the other day, but he does have the lowest plus minus in the league right now. So doesn't surprise me as to why they put him out of the lineup. But that does suck that his record was broken from a healthy scratch standpoint. Anyway, 6'1", 192 pounds. He's extremely quick, 98 speed, 97 excel. I have a quick pick on him, which to me feels great. It's obviously not as effective as the OP version of Gold Shutdown, but quick pick still feels pretty good. And then lastly, on the third line D pairing, we have the new team of the season, Adam Fox, 98 speed, 98 excel. He has a couple interesting zone superstar abilities, but again, third line D pairing, not touching the ice a ton. I'm not going to activate any of these. Also, MATTIAS EKHOLM's playoff predictor card. Now, the Predators, for me, have a large chance, in my opinion, of sitting and staying in that wild card spot, especially with where the Blues are, as well as the other Western Conference teams. He's almost guaranteed to be a 98. I think there's a really good chance he's going to remain a 98 overall going into the playoffs. So a 98 overall for him, 6'4", 216 pounds with spark and fly the zone. He also does have gold shutdown or silver stick him up. But 96 speed, 96 excel with 99 body checking and a 6'4", 216 pound player. MATTIAS EKHOLM is a great pickup. I picked him up for about $160K on Xbox Series X. Right now, he's even going for around 200, 220. So for anything under 200, he's a must buy, in my opinion. Lastly, we have my boy Sean Kingsley keeping the boys in line with the Gladiator synergy. And we have Carey Price in net. 543 wins, 110 losses, 2.22 goals against with an 85% save percentage. He's been pretty solid for me, and obviously gold post to post has a lot to do with that. And as I've talked about before, Vasilevskiy has just been absolute cheeks for me. Actually, I guess it's not terrible. 39 wins. 14 losses with a 2.7 goals against average and 80% save percentage, but a clear difference between Carey Price and Vasilevskiy. A 5% save percentage is going to mean the difference between a lot of wins and a lot of losses. So haven't played him in a while. If he gets up to a 99 overall, may consider switching him out with Carey Price, but something about Carey Price's card this year just feels immaculate. Lastly, let's take a look at the synergies as well as the AP limits. Spark is, I think we got it maybe. I think we might be there with 27 out of 5 points. As you can tell, I like to have acceleration boost on my players, and I don't think I've ever seen a scroll on a synergy slot. So there we go. Nice to see it. Also, Fly the Zone, Distributor, Thief, Workhorse, Booming Shot, Magician, Gladiator, Buzzing, and Applesauce. So as you can see, I'm all about balance, stick handling, acceleration, and speed. So those are the areas and the synergies that I look to target as far as building my team. And again, I'll be brief on this because we've also already talked about all these players. But just to give you a quick summary recap as to who has what activated. Hedman taking up 9 ability points with silver no contest and gold 1T. And I'm completely okay with that because he's on the ice basically 60% of the game. Keith PRIMEAU with gold close quarters. Carey Price with gold post to post. And Korbinian Holzer with gold truculence. Whenever we go down here, we have gold stick 'em up on Brayden Coburn. Rantanen has silver close quarters activated. Yandle, as we talked about before, he does have quick pick. I'll show you there. And then lastly, we have McDavid with a 1 point for silver no contest, and also 1 point for silver no contest on Ovi as well as Barkov. So hopefully that helps, guys. There's the team update. That's it for me on this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and click that like button. And if you love NHL 22 content, I would love to have you stick around here with me. Make sure you go ahead and click subscribe.